What's going on, guys? Welcome back. It's Hal. Today we're going to be going over the FF8 banner, but before we get to that, I just wanted to thank you guys for the support on the channel. We've been able to grow a bunch. I was looking at my stats, and I think we've gone up by like 25% view increase in the last month or so compared to the previous couple months, and that's sweet. And as you guys know, I am doing this full time now, so as much support as you can give, it's amazing. We've gotten more views by 25%, but I think the ad revenue is a fickle mistress, as you know, and it's actually gone down by quite a bit in the past few months. So I don't know what's up with that, but if you guys do want to continue supporting the channel, you can do whatever you want. You can hit the like button. A lot of people really undervalue the power of the like button that they have, you know, whether it's, you know, my channel, any channel that you like. If you like the channel, even if it's not the video itself, you just want to, if you hate the video but you still want to support the channel, you hit the like button, all that fun stuff. You know, you can subscribe. You can go ahead and pass the information around, because going into this sort of content creation here, I don't just put up videos for the sake of videos. Let's go in and do research and other stuff. So it takes a bunch of hours, you know, me, Clay, whoever you know that streams good content, puts good content out. It takes a lot of back end for you. So if you want to do that, awesome. You want to whitelist us, that'll help out a bunch. All right, so you can watch a little bit of ads or make coffee. I watch ads on Clay's videos and stuff like that, and I make coffee or something while they're going off. And then if you want to support us beyond that, there are other avenues to that, whether it's Twitch or Patreon or whatever like that. But I just want to get that out there, and I wanted to thank you guys for your support. You guys are doing work out there, and don't underestimate how much support you can do just with a like or a share. So let's get into that, or let's get out of that, guys. Let's get out of that. Let's get right into the FF8 banner here. So let's start off with Zell here. He's a 4-star base, 6-star max. He's a physical attacker, or so he believes, as we head into the 7-star meta. All right, so his TMR here is the Egrets. The Egrets, I don't even know what it's called. It's 128 attack, single-wielded fist weapon, non-elemental. It gives auto bravery, which just gives you a 20% attack bonus as the battle starts. Does not stack with other attack bonuses. It's not that great of a TMR. You're not going to want to get it. It doesn't really matter. It's Icon Fist, whatever. You don't really need you don't need this TMR. Don't pull for Zell for the TMR. Now, as a unit, he needs to do something really special. He needs to have some sort of strong utilities as we head into the 7-star meta. Now, we're basically gonna have to go ahead and rate 4-star bases, 6-star maxes a little bit differently. A lot of the attacking, damage dealing ones are not going to be super useful unless they have a bunch of different sort of chaining frames to chain with multiple people, because their damage just isn't going to be there in comparison to your friend units or any other units such as that. So he's got punch rush and stuff, and draw and booyah. Basically, he's like the 4-star version of Prish, where you need to like kick, booyah, punch rush. That's it. That's what he does. Kick, booyah, punch rush. And then he's got some attack passives. You can go up to a 14 times modifier and different beat here, but like he's like Prish as a 4-star base. You're not going to want to use him. He's not that great. All right, my final heaven, 12.6 times multiplier. That's enough. You, Zell. I always just go eat some hot dogs, bro. Hot dogs, dude. All right, so we have Ramira here, 3-star base, 5-star max. So even worse than the 7-star meta. She has the bling necklace. All right, 15 defense, 15 spirit, 20% HP, and then gives you passionate, which is 20% LB gauge fill rate. It's not even 50%, it's 20% LB gauge fill rate. It's okay, 20% HP, 15 flat defense and spirit. It's around the same sort of strength as Arsha Talisman used to be. Now, it's actually a little bit weaker than Arsha Talisman as we head into the 7-star era, because, like Wilhelm, for instance, after pots and stuff, that man's got like 250-something defense. Well, 10% of that's 25 versus the raw 15 here. So you can see where this isn't going to be as good on your 7-star characters, but on your 6-star characters they have running around, it's going to be pretty strong, pretty much the same as an Arsha's Talisman. But as for her kit, 5-star max, she needs some real special stuff, but all she has is 50% lightning and peril, 30% lightning and peril, some 2.25 multipliers. Rush Assault, no, not this day. She does have 59% defense and spirit break, but if you want to be using a 3-star base, 5-star max on your team, go ahead and use Timothy. All right, he's got a bunch of breaks. He's got 59% full break on his limit burst. Much better unit. Okay, so let's head into the meat of the banner. We have Rinoa now. Got a couple of buffs over in global. We'll talk about how good those buffs were in a minute. Her TMR is Shooting Star though, 48 attack, 118 magic, throwing weapon. Pretty decent. You're gonna want to throw it on her, okay? Because she does have her trust ability. You're gonna want to activate her trust ability if you're gonna be using Rinoa. Her super TMR is the Winged Heart, 100% resistant to all status ailments, 60% resistance to fire, lightning, wind. in ice, and then 50% resistance to charm. I really wish it would have gotten buffed to 100% charm resistance. So this is okay. If you need to be tanking fire, ice, lightning, and wind damage on your magic cover tank, this is going to be awesome. It has some uses. It's pretty strong. When it's strong, it's strong. When it's not strong, you don't even want to equip it because it doesn't do anything in those circumstances. It's either really good or really bad. So that's one of the things there that we go over here. Her base magic at 7-star though, my goodness, 253 base magic after pots. Boom. Bot. Welcome to 7-star era. Let's do that. No elemental weaknesses, no elemental resistances. She can wear daggers, swords, staves, rods, harps, throwing weapons, and guns. So that sounds like Rinoa to me. She could have hats, clothing, and robes as well. She has access to green, white, and black magic there. White and black at 8, green at 7. All right, so let's get into this stuff here. She's got Angelo Cannon, or Angelo actually, which has a 52% chance to use Angelo Cannon, which is a 6 times multiplier attack, 8 times multiplier magic. So it's a hybrid attack. Oh, it's got a different weighting. It's not 50-50. Okay, I see. It's a hybrid damage attack with a 6 times multiplier for your attack and 8 times multiplier for your magic. Not that good. You'd be stacking magic on her. So she's going to have next to no attack. Angelo Strike, which is a 12.0 multiplier attack and 16 times multiplier magic hybrid attack. Seems really strong, but you only have a 38% chance of using it, and it's hybrid damage. I mean, it's pretty strong, but not that great. And then Invisible Moon, mitigate magic damage by 50% for 1 turn to all allies. Extremely powerful, but it's unreliable. And that's the problem with Angelo here. If you're going for Invisible Moon, you're more than likely not going to get it. Okay, if you're going for damage dealing skills, you don't want to really use Angelo Cannon and Angelo Strike. She has better skills than that. Even though Angelo Strike is collectively a 28 times mod, it's not nearly as good as some of the other stuff she can do, and you're not always going to get it. In fact, you could get super unlucky and go to do damage with this and get Invisible Moon and be like, shit, dude, I was gonna chain finish. Now everyone's taking less damage. What's going on? So Armor Slicer, Arm Slicer, 45% defense, Spirit Break, 45% attack, magic break. Okay utility. But as we move further and further along in the next few months, you have access to like people that just spam out 60% breaks. I think Ramza has that now, every single stat in the game, 60%. Wilhelm has 60% attack magic break. You're going to see more and more and more characters with 60% plus breaks. She has double, which is dual cast black magic, or just dual cast magic actually, not just black magic. She's got Angelo Tackle, 4.5 times multiplier magic attack with consecutive damage increase, 8 times. 3.0 multiplier increase each time to a max of a 28.5 multiplier attack. That sounds really strong. If it is, you can't dual cast it though, so keep that in mind, and it takes forever to stack. It's going to take you 8 turns to stack it to max, and she has some other skills that actually max or beat the multiplier that you can get on Angelo Tackle, so seems good, not really that great. Angel Wing, 6 turn cooldown available on turn 1, removes all debuffs from her. This is pretty cool because it's just debuffs. It doesn't remove all of her buffs and debuffs, just debuffs, guys. Gives her triple for 3 turns, which is triple cast magic. Increases her magic by 300% for 4 turns. It increases her magic by 300% for her next action. This increased magic by 300% does stack with the 150%. It's kind of like Xyrus's buff that he gets from his Limit Burst back in the day. So basically, she's going to get an extra like 750 magic for the next action that she uses, which is pretty cool. You can combo that with Angelo Tackle, or you can combo it with some of her chain finishing magic skills. So some of her passives here, we have Angelo Rush, chance to counter physical attacks or magic attacks with Angelo Rush. Angelo Search, which gives you some item finder, a 50% item finder. The Forest Owls, increased resistance to silence, paralyze, and confusion by 100%. Junction for LB gauge plus 50%. LB gauge fill auto 1 crystal per turn, and recover 10% MP per turn. That 10% MP per turn is a global exclusive buff. It helps her out quite a lot. In JP, I don't think she had any MP refresh whatsoever. Now we have 10 on her, so that's awesome. Angelo Recover, chance to counter physical or magical attacks with Angelo Recover at a 20% proc rate. And then Pet Pals, increase your attack and magic by 50% with Koopa with throwing weapon. And then we have HP plus 20% here as a passive. Now, to continue on, she also gets magic plus 30% as a passive. And then Sorceress of the Present. This is her trust ability, so you have to have her TMR on, which is that throwing weapon that she has. It increases her equipment magic by 60% when single wielding any weapon. So she has 100% true double hand, or 60%, excuse me, true double hand when you have her TMR on her. Or you get increased equipment magic by 50% when dual wielding. This is true dual wield magic, so you can dual wield and get 50% of your stats on your gear. That's absolutely insane. It's a brand new thing that she has access to here in Global. I love that a lot. She also will gain enable and access to the ability triple at the start of the battle. So you'll be able to on turn 1 triple cast black magic, and then it'll go away and you have to re-unlock it, okay, with her Angel Wing cooldown skill. She also has GF, which gives her Esper bonus stats plus 10%, MP plus 20%, Sorceress of the Future for another 40% magic, and increase HP and MP by 20%. We're not done yet though, that's not everything. Okay. Angela Rush is a 5x multiplier. This is that counter attack that she can do. 5.0 multiply high run attack, so it's not that good. And then Angela Recover heals herself for 30% HP and MP. This is fine. She's not going to hit that often, and so we got a 20% proc rate. So she won't be getting hit that much. It's a problem with counters on, you know, magic users and physical damage dealers nowadays. They don't really get hit that much, so they won't really get the chance to counter that often. And then triple is there, triple cast any magic, not just black magic. I want to say black magic so badly, but it's triple cast any magic. She has Libra, Kiraga, Aura, which is a new ability. Increase LB gauge by 3 to 1 ally, so you can triple cast this on turn 1, give someone 9 LB crystals right away, double cast it later on for 2 LB crystals. That's very strong. Flare, outdated skill, low multiplier, water resistance down. She doesn't make use of that. Full life, nice support skill there. She has Meteor, maybe in the arena, and then she has Tornado and Apocalypse. So I know everyone in the game loves Tornado chaining for some reason. A Tornado chaining is only really that good when you can self-chain finish off of it. Okay guys, so double Tornado, in the 7-star meta, even in the 6-star meta, double Tornado was not that good. It was the Tornado Eroja combo, or the Tornado some sort of chain finishing skill, because Tornado itself only has a 2.5 times multiplier, and it does decrease wind resistance by 50%. So Tornado is like a support skill, basically. It's like, it helps you build your chain up and gives you the Imperil. That's what makes Eroja so strong. Back in the day, Eroja would stack up to a 6.0 multiplier. You get the chain finish bonus, so 6 times 4 is 24, and then you get the 50% wind resistance down on top of that. So now you're looking at a 36 times multiplier on your Eroja. That's why Eroja would hit so hard. That's why Tornado Eroja was so strong. It wasn't really Tornado doing all the damage, it was Eroja. So the problem with our girl here is that Tornado, she doesn't really, as far as I know, have a way to chain finish off of it. I think Apocalypse's chaining frames are just way too long, and Eroja will actually fit, or Tornado will actually finish before Apocalypse can hit. But she can triple cast Apocalypse, and you might be able to triple cast chain finish off of a really extremely long chain. The problem with that is it needs to be an extremely long chain for triple Apocalypse to finish. I think you can fit double Apocalypse in there. Double Apocalypse, magic damage 10 times multiplied to all enemies, very strong. Very strong. You can triple cast this, but remember, this is a 7-star character. It's a non-elemental attack, so it can't get benefited by imbues, or not imbues, imperils. It can't be benefited by imperils. We already have characters who can do this, and she can't always triple cast it. She only gets it on turn 1 and after her cooldown skill, which, while the buff does last 3 turns, it's a 6-turn cooldown. So she's not always going to have triple cast. Most of the time she's going to be double casting it. So now you're looking at maybe a 20 times multiplier on Apocalypse that can't benefit from imperils. We already have 6-star characters that can kind of do that. You know, Grimlord Soccer takes a couple turns to build it up. As a 6-star character, has like 15 times multiplier that you can double chain finish. Dragonlord has a 30 times fire multiplier that you can benefit from imperils off of. So if you have a 50% fire imperil for Dragonlord, his is a 45 times multiplier. Sakura, obviously, 15 and 15 is a 30, 50% imperil there. Guess what? That's another 45 times multiplier. So that's really what holds Rinoa back. When they said they were going to buff Apocalypse, I was kind of excited because I was like, yes, they're going to buff the multiplier on it. And if they buffed it to a 15 times multiplier, it's kind of like this version would have a 50% imperil, right? So you'd have triple cast Apocalypse, 30, 10, 10, 10, 30 times multiplier there with a 50% imperil, so it was a fire damage attack. It'd be a 45 times multiplier. That would be the same as if they buffed this to a 15 times multiplier. It'd be 15 plus 15 plus 15, 45. Very strong. Would be in the meta as far as I'm concerned. But what did they do? They buffed it from an 80 MP costing skill to a 75 MP costing skill. So that really didn't do her justice. Really didn't do anything that she needed. She needed to do just a little bit more damage. She didn't really get it. Is she absolutely terrible? No. But do remember that this is a 7-star character we're talking about, brand new in the game, and she's like, the only thing she really has as an edge in comparison to other 6-star mages is that she has higher stats for being a 7-star, basically. That'll carry you for now, but in the long run, it won't be that big of a difference. So she's not that great. And her Wishing Star LB here, hyper damage 22.9 times multiplier if you max it out. Really? Level 1, it's a 20 times multiplier. Level 30, it's a 22.9 times multiplier. That's what we're getting? We're getting a 2.9 times multiplier increase, and it's a hybrid attack? That's like a 1.45 multiplier increase. What? I don't have words for this unit, man. I don't know. It's not Gumi's fault. Don't blame Gumi. Gumi didn't make this character. This character would have been incredibly hard to make extremely powerful. The Apocalypse buff of a higher multiplier would have helped her. But outside of that, I mean, she's got aura. She's got triple cast every once in a while on Apocalypse, and she can tornado chain. She just doesn't have anything good for the second skill. So if she would have had like Eroja and stuff like that, she kind of suffers from the Dark Fina, Majin, Summer Fina, Beach Time Fina sort of thing there, where she just can't have a second skill to follow up on it. So Rinoa. Now Squall got a bunch of buffs as well, and I say a bunch of buffs, okay, because he did get a few buffs. His TMR here is the Lionheart, 150 attack, two-handed greatsword. It was 140 in JP, it's 150 now, so that helps. It gives him the Legendary Beast, which gives Squall and only Squall 2 Limit Burst crystals per turn. Okay, that's it. It's 150 attack, two-handed greatsword. Super awesome, a little bit better than Conrad's TMR Revolving Saw, which is 130. So if you have 300% double hand or 300% true double hand, the Lionheart will give you like 80 more attack than the Revolving Saw would, and it gives you the 2 Limit Burst crystals per turn if you use it exclusively on Squall. His super TMR though is so good. Alliance Heart increases Limit Burst damage by 55%. Increases LB gauge by 3 per turn. If you want to blow stuff up with your Limit Burst, like throw this on your Olive. Whoo! What is Olive's LB? 25 times multiplier with her with Sparky on. Oh, you want to do 55% more? You want to do 50? You want to do like a near 40 times multiplier, Olive, on your Limit Burst instead of 25? Gone, dude. The Lion's Heart. It's good on Squall too, but it's great. If you can get your hands on this, more power to you. More power to you. It's great. It doesn't have stats on it, but like attack and stuff, you don't need it. You don't need it. You better doing that. It's so good. Don't even talk to me about how good that is. All right, so he's got swords, great swords, guns and flails, hats, helms, light armor, clothing, and heavy armor. He can wear a little bit of magic, but you ain't putting that on him. Let's be honest. The Lionheart, there it is again. Legendary Beast, 2 LB crystals per turn. All right, so his skill set. The Rough Divide, physical damage 2.7 times multiplier, Faded Circle 3.75 multiplier to all enemies, AoE skill, that's very nice there actually. Draw can remove magic break from an ally and give Squall 120%, so it's a little bit of a self buff and a little bit of a utility skill to help your mages out. You know, like your Rinoa, you have Squall Rinoa party, right? He's got Flame Beret, Wind Beret, Thunder Beret, and Light Beret. The multipliers on these were not changed from their JP counterparts. They're still super weak at 2.25 multipliers, okay? Fire, Wind, Thunder, and Light, they all have their respective elements, and they all have their respective imperil. So Fire, 6% Fire Imperil with a 2.25 Fire Elemental multiplier, then Wind, Thunder, and Light, so on and so forth. Blasting Zone is a 2.0 multiplier with a north 50% decrease to all enemies, single hit chain finishing skill. Keen Edge has been buffed from a 2.5 multiplier with ignore 50% defense to a 3.0 multiplier with ignore 50% defense. So it's a 6.0 multiplier instead of a 5.0 multiplier. Helps a little bit. It's a 2-hit skill, but you can still chain finish with it. And he's got Ren, Zo, Kukin. Use Squall skills twice in one turn except for Draw or Lion's Roar. So you can't use Draw or Lion's Roar dual casted. And Lion's Roar is a 4-turn cooldown available on turn 4. Removes all debuffs from the caster. Fills his HP to 100% and heals his MP by 50% of his max. And increases his LB gauge by straight 30 crystals, which will max it out. Alright, so you can Lion's Roar on turn 4 and the next turn fire off your Limit Burst with the Lion's Heart on and just boom, boom, boom. He's got so many lions, man. He's all lions. He's mono lions. Seed, increase HP and defense by 30% and MP by 50%. It's going to help him dual cast all of those skills. Inherited Charisma, increases resistance to blind, poison, and paralyze and petrify. Paralyze and petrify, awesome. And then 40% more spirit. I guess he's happy to be there. He's ready to roll. He's got high spirit. I don't know. Don't ask me. Okay. Junction increases LB gauge by 50%, increases his LB gauge by 1 per turn as well. Gun Mastery, increase attack by 50% when equipped with a gun. Orphaned Cub, chance to counter physical or magical attacks, 20% proc rate with Orphaned Cub. max 1 Orphan Cub per turn. He's a Gunblade wielder. Increases equipment attack by 100%. Alright, when single wielding any weapon. So now he has 100% true double hand at 6-star level 36. That is awesome. I think this used to be like just double hand instead of true double hand. So you couldn't use TMR with them because it was a two-handed weapon. Thankfully that was fixed over here. And he does have true double hand 100% instead of a double hand 100%. Large sword mastery gives him 50% attack when equipped with a great sword. Sorceress's Knight, if you have his TMR Lionheart equipped, he gets mitigate magic damage by 10%, LB gauge fill rate by 50%, and increase attack by 30%. The mitigate magic damage is okay, it's whatever. The LB gauge fill rate is nice, helps you get his limit burst off, and the attack plus 30% is always welcomed. He's got true double hand now here. Increased equipment attack by 50% when single wielding any weapon, so that bumps him up to 150% true double hand. Very nice. The highest that we have, I think, right now in the game as just like a native true double hand bonus. He's got an extra 10% of your Esper's equipped stats, and then he's got defense plus 20%. An Orphan Cub here increases your attack by 120% to 1 turn to the caster, so your counter attack here, so you can get a self buff every once in a while, and you also will mitigate damage taken by 15% for 1 turn. It's not that great, if I'm going to be honest. If you have a Bard, you're going to have a comparable buff to that, and if you have any sort of semblance of a decent party setup, you're going to have someone with like 30% damage mitigation, like Spread Shield type effect, or some sort of stance or something like that where you're going to have 15, 20, 30% damage mitigation already up. And plus, if you're counting with this, Squall didn't die, so he probably doesn't need the 15% anyhow. So, Lionheart. Another Lion's Heart. I think he's got like 5 Lionheart skills. Lionheart's limit burst, physical damage at max level, 10.5 times multiplier with North, 50% defense to 1 enemy, 24 limit burst crystal. So that's what you want to max it out. It makes it really easy for you to use. It only costs 24 cris. He's got all the LB gauge fill rate. He's got the 2 cris per turn on his gun. You can put double martial glove on him. That'll give you another 4 LB cris per turn if you were lucky enough to have Tomb Raider, as well as another 2. So you can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you have like 9, 10 LB crystal gain per turn on him. Be firing LB off over and over with the Lionheart. The problem with the Lionheart, as far as I know, is the chaining frames on it are quite similar to like Omni Slashes. I'm not saying that they chain with Omni Slash. I'm saying that he does like a combo of attacks, and then the last attack, it takes so long that the chain breaks and he finishes, just like Cloud. And it's back weighted, so like a decent majority of the damage on Lionheart is actually on that final hit. And it's almost gonna be really hard to chain and chain finish with that. So we'll have to see if we can make something work like a really extremely long chain. But yes, so how do I think about Squall in the banner overall? Squall, here's his major problem with his design kit wise. Like once again, I'm not saying I'm blaming Gumi, because they didn't make this character. They were handed this character and said, hey, do what you need to do. This is the major problem with Squall. All right, you want to put his TMR on him, which is not the super TMR. You want to put Lionheart on him, non-elemental weapon. Okay, remember that, non-elemental weapon. His best weapon, non-elemental weapon. You want to put it on there. And then you have these nice skills: Flame Beret, Wind Beret, Thunder Beret, Light Beret. Okay, nice in perils, super awesome. The multiplier arm's a little bit low, but you can chain with them. You build chains, you know, 5 hit, 5 hit, 5 hit. That's awesome. So you have these different imperils. You have these different imperils that self auto do the damage, you know, kind of similar to Jack Shot. Okay, and then we have the chain finishing skill Keen Edge, 6.0 multiplier. Maybe could have got a little bit more love. Maybe could have like a 7.5, 8.0 multiplier to make him competitive for a bit longer. Olive got Awakened. She has a 10 and 15 times multiplier that you can chain finish with. And oh look, it's a non-elemental. All these had to do, these just had to imbue him. If it was like Jack Shot, fire damage, decreased fire resistance, fire imperil, fire imbue. Yes, same with this and this. That would have made him much stronger. He wouldn't have been broken. He would have been more comparable to a lot of the units coming out in the future. He has his niches that he can chain a little bit and then chain finish. The problem with it is his chain finish skill is a 6 times multiplier. So you're trying to do 2 things with Squall. You'd be better off just merging them together and just bring 2 chainers. He doesn't really last super long in the meta. He's not the worst thing ever right now as a 7-star. He's going to be pretty strong because of how the batch came out, we got a much smaller batch in global than in JP. We had a lot less damage dealing units, so there's only a handful of damage dealing 7 stars. If you get them right now, you may end up with 2. Awaken them, use them for sure, but do not pull on this banner if you have any sort of comparable units that will get 7 stars now or in the future for damage dealing units. You won't need these ones. They get power crept incredibly quickly, even by pre-existing units, you know, like Titus, Eileen, etc., etc. Queen's even better than this. Stuff like that. Rem, Transterra. I can go. The list goes on and on and on about how many other of the pre-existing units that have been around for a long time will be better than Squall and Rinoa in the future. Now, that being said, why would you want to pull on this banner? There's one reason that, in my opinion, that you should want to pull on this banner outside of getting a couple bonus King Mug units. This is an all-in banner, okay? This is like the Cloud Elfrida banner, okay? This, to me, in my opinion, unless you go in for 4 Squall to get Lionheart, and you get it, it's an all-or-nothing banner. You either want none of the units, or you want 4 Squall to get the Lionheart. Do you need Lionheart? You don't need it, no. Is it incredibly fun to play around with? Is it incredibly powerful on certain units? Like CG Hyo for his limit burst spam and stuff like that. Yes, it's incredibly good in those situations. Is it a must-have? No, definitely not. So is this banner skippable? It totally is. I wouldn't pull on it. I am one of the biggest FF8 fans ever. I really would love Squall to play around with, but even then, I don't think I'm going to do anything beyond a few daily pulls and maybe some tickets for the King Mog event. So if you want to see other stuff like this banner review, feature reviews on 7 stars, there's 2 batch 1 reviews already out. Check it out in the playlist section. They have their own section. I think it's called 7-Star Awakening Review. You want to see previous content in addition to that. There's more stuff in the playlist section. I think I'm also going to be doing 7-star advanced unit guides for probably Squall, probably not Rinoa. I'll try to do Olive, Lightning, or Landu. We'll try to get them all out there. My friend's having his bachelor's wedding party this weekend, so I'll be busy a little bit there, but I do have some stuff planned out for you guys. So if you want to see that stuff, go ahead, hit the sub button. Thank you for the support. Make sure the notifications are on, by the way, and I'll see you guys in the next one.